Hello everyone, welcome to Dan Does Stuff. Today I want to talk about two of my favorite things combined into one thing. Woodworking and fire. Oh yeah. What I'm talking about is Shou Sugi ban. Yes, Japanese technique for preserving wood. I'm going to show you how to do that in this particular Dan Does Stuff. What I have here is just some pine. Bought it at Lowe's, nothing special, but what I'm going to use this for is a tabletop. I have an outdoor kind of high top table that we got for cheap, and I figured why not cover it up with some pine and make it look super cool with a burned top using the Shou Sugi ban technique of preserving the wood. Now a little background on that. Typically, Japanese, they would use Japanese cedar trees. We don't have access to that. But this process, you can use it on any type of wood. And what it does is it seals the wood, or basically preserves the wood and protects it from any bugs and rot. But then if you put like a tung oil or any type of sealer on top of that, I mean, you can put this stuff outside and it's going to last a really long time. And actually, what I'll show you right now is a project that I did before, and it's a bar top. And what it is going to go next to this other stand-up bar top. So let's go take a look. All right, here is my bar top that I made, and it just rained, so it's a little bit dirty and wet, but I mean, there you have it. That's what it looks like. When it dries out, it looks really cool, like a dark grayish wood. And I'll show you the process of how I did this and kind of talk about different ways that you can do it, because you can make it really, really dark and have more of a black look. But I like to use a wire brush, scrape off all the char, and you get a really cool coloring, cool gray, almost like zebra. Yeah, there it is. All right, back to the studio. That's the look that we're going for because we want those two tops to match. And what I'm going to do with this pine, this is going to be a little twofer special. I'm going to use my Craig jig right here to do pocket holes all along the side. And I'm going to do that first because that's what I'm going to use to connect all of these together to make my tabletop. But I want to get those Craig holes, pocket holes. Get these drilled out first, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn all sides of the wood, and I don't want to do that after the fact because then you'd see like the actual raw wood without it being burned. So what I'll do is run through and do all these pocket holes on here, and then we'll get to the burning. Oh gosh, it's awesome. With the blowtorch, a big one. It's torch time, my favorite part of the process. I have my wood here. As you can see, I put some of the pieces 1x6s together just so I have two pieces to work with. It's easier to flip and turn. And I just put them on some old pallet chunks of wood that I had because I wanted them up off the ground. What I have here is your Harbor Freight torch. These things are cheap and they are worth every penny. I find reasons to use this. Like, you need your bonfire started. Okay, fire it up right away. Oh, and you need a light on your cig. Here you go, from like 5 feet away. It's awesome. And at night, it shoots this huge flame up. Super cool, well worth the money. And what I'll do, I'm gonna torch each side, and I'm gonna go until you hear like a crackling sound. I'll zoom it in so you can see what I'm doing, then I'll flip it over and do the other side. But let's get this thing fired up so you can see what it looks like. Turn my gas on. Then you have a nozzle here. You turn your gas on just a little bit. Grab your lighter. All right, we're lit. Now you can turn your gas up a little bit. And it gets loud. And once this thing's warm, then you can just pull this trigger down here and just get the flame throwing. There. It's like a mini version of a hot air balloon. Freaking awesome. All right, let's get to torching. This is what we got. Now it's a nice dark charred look. This looks super sweet, and I wish you could leave it like this for a tabletop, but you're not. It's gonna crinkle and ash all over the place. But if you're doing this for like a siding or something to that nature, you can leave it this charred look. A lot of times what people do after they do this process, they burn it all and then they put it in water just to cool it off. But that's the process. You go until you hear that wood crackling. It almost looks like gator skin, but it's totally up to you. You can do a different look. You can just give it a touch of the torch and you get a nice charred look, a little light charred, or you can go deep like I did. And what I'm gonna do now, next step, is to take a wire brush to this to knock off all that soot and ash. And then that is what our tabletop will be. Almost to a finished product. I'm gonna put some tung oil on it and then call it good to go. Shou Sugi ban! It's wire brush time. You can take any wire brush that you have, get it from the hardware store, they're cheap. And this is messy. So put down something to catch all the soot and ash, but what you do is you just work it with the grain. Got the wire brushing down. Now I'm just gonna run some compressed air over them, put them together with those pocket holes, and put the tabletop on. We'll see what it looks like. You wanna see what it looks like? I wanna see what it looks like. We're back in the shop, and this is what I got. I'm just gonna take these screws, pocket hole screws, screw this together so we have a complete top. But what I also did after I took the air compressor and blowed it off, you'll see kind of spots that you might have missed. You can just touch it up with your wire brush. As you can see on the bottom, and I'm not getting too picky with it, you can see some shininess here and there. That's just where I didn't knock all the soot off with, but I'm gonna put this together and put it on. Here is our top. We have it attached to our metal frame. I don't know if you can see this. So when I did that, I just put this top on, and then I used little strips of cedar, put them underneath, and then screwed it to it because it's metal mesh on the top, so it just screws go right through it. I haven't finished this yet. I didn't have any linseed oil. I do have linseed oil. I don't have any tung oil, so I'm gonna use boiled linseed oil. And that will be my finish for this top, and this thing's gonna live outside. I'll do one coat, and then I'll probably do another coat once that dries, and maybe a third. Now the way to do this, the way that I do it, you can use a brush or a foam brush. Those work awesome too. But for this, put on my black rubber gloves. Yeah. I talked about these. I have a ton of these. These are amazing. I use them for cooking, for any projects. And you just toss them. It's wonderful. Take my boiled linseed oil. Take my one rag. And I just douse it. And then I just spread it on. And you can be heavy with it. You're going to see that it's picks up a lot of that black soot that's still on there that I couldn't get off. You want to make sure you get it all soaked into the wood. And then we'll come back over it with my other sock. Let it dry and then come back in a couple days and do it again. Zip through it. There you have it. There's a little tutorial on the Shou Sugi ban process of preserving wood. I hope you get out and try this. It's super fun. Love burning stuff. This is your thing. And woodworking, 2 and 2, can't go wrong with this process. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.